doing? Gentlemen and ladies, how you guys doing this wonderful evening, Thursday evening, on my way to MUSC Medical University. Gotta go up here and do a quick little job. Then I gotta head to Orangeburg to get my company car. I'm switching out cars today, so next time you see me in the car, it'll be a different car. This is a GMC 2019 GMC Acadia. I'm going to pick up a 2021 Toyota Highlander. This Acadia has been good to me, very good. So what I'm talking about this afternoon is, first of all, thank you for all the love. I'm still receiving so much love, and blessings to all of you and your families. From a Third Eye Geechee. I pray that all of you guys receive blessings. But somebody mentioned in the comments about me connecting with Kwame Brown and pitching a book idea to him about his life. I wish it was that easy. I really do. I wish it was that easy. That would be awesome. And that's what I said. That was my comment back to the person who made that comment. I could definitely see me writing a very gritty, very dirty, down, honest book about Kwame Brown. I mean, about his true life, his real life, because from what he's been saying, man, he came up pretty rough, played basketball without shoes, and he played somebody for a pair of sneakers and actually won the game and left the court with sneakers, with the guy's sneakers. I don't know if the sneakers fit him or not, but he won a pair of sneakers playing basketball. He didn't have any. Now that's coming up rough. I mean, I have my own stories, but at least I had sneakers. Now, I might have been going to school with church shoes on a lot of times, with no shoestrings, or some football cleats that my aunt boss donated to her, size 13 football cleats, when I wore like a size 9. I mean, yeah, that's a true story. But at least I had sneakers. So yeah, that's a very interesting comment that was made about making a book about Kwame Brown's life. I could definitely see myself writing that, and if he stumbles upon this video, and reach out to me, that would be awesome. I mean, I would not. You know what? I think I would have to put everything. I have a book almost done. I have a book very close to being done. I mean, very close. But as all writers know, there's no such thing as being very close to being done. I mean, you can think you're almost done and then realize, oh, I gotta go back and re-edit the whole book, or I gotta find the perfect jacket, the cover, or so many different things that can just come out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, you got another 3 months left to write on your book, another 4 or 5 months, you never know. But this last book, I started writing that last year. Officially, I started writing it last year on my sister's birthday, May 29th, and I was planning on being done by my mother's birthday, which is July 29th. With that being said, I have been so busy. You see me right now, it is 3:46 in the afternoon. I have been working on a computer all day long, trying to get all the software on it. And I am on my way to one hospital. And then I have to head all the way, I want to say an hour and a half, maybe longer, Orangeburg. If you guys, anybody from Charleston, from South Carolina, from this area, the distance between Orangeburg and Charleston is pretty good. I got to go pick up my other car, drop this one off, and then I'll be back home, upload this video, and Yeah, I've been very busy lately, very busy, but I'm receiving a lot of love. I'm thanking you guys. I'm thanking God. I had somebody buy from YouTube. I had somebody from YouTube, Miss Raina Wilson. She bought 4 of my books. Blessings to her. I hope she enjoyed. I'm pretty sure she will. But a lot of things are happening right now for me, and I'm just happy. I'm ecstatic, loving life. I hope you guys can hear. I got the AC turned all the way up. Let me turn it. It is. I got it set to 68, but it is 90 degrees outside here in South Carolina, and this time of year, the humidity is always 100%. So if it's 90, then the real feel is about 100, or close to it. So I just got in my car, cleaned everything out as best I could. So it's still pretty hot in here. Hadn't eaten all day. Oh my God, it's just hadn't even watched any Kwame Brown videos lately. Not the whole videos, because I've been so busy. Been so busy, man. But you know what? They say an idle mind is a devil's playground, and my mind is definitely not idle. I am busy. It's always a good thing, man. It's always a good thing. Not too busy though. I gotta go on vacation here sometime. So yeah, I hadn't watched any videos in its entirety from beginning to end. I saw he put out one this morning. It's a 28-minute video. So after I'm done here, which I'll be done in a couple minutes, I'll go and watch that on my way up to the hospital. Again, I can't thank you guys enough. My subscribers are going up. I'm getting likes. I'm not getting a lot of dislikes now for some reason. Most of my videos are likes, which is good, but I'm kind of nervous about that, you know. Like I said the other day, if you don't have any haters, then you're kind of living in a fantasy world, you know, 'cause somebody's always hating. I mean, you can't help that. I told my son, he just started a job, my second oldest son. He's working on his PhD now. He just finished college, but he's working on his PhD, and he got a job at Black & Decker, and he's the second guy in charge at the plant. And the weirdest thing in the world is having one of your kids that you still remember being in Pampers, and having one of your kids take you out to lunch. I had to do some work in the same town, which is about an hour and a half away from here. I had to do some work in the town that he works in, at a hospital. And so I said, you know what, let's do lunch. I was planning on paying for lunch and everything. The weirdest thing in the world is having one of your kids not only all of a sudden be an adult, but paying for your lunch and then insisting to pay for your lunch. Oh man, and he makes more money than me now. So I mean, I said, hey, go ahead, man. Hey, have at it. I made sure I got sushi and everything. It was at a little what do you call those little Japanese steakhouses? Hibachi bar, I think. Yeah, so the food was pretty good. It was free. And I mean, proud is not even a word when one of your kids, sunlight is pretty bright. When one of your kids can take you out to lunch. And, you know, he was talking to me about all of his, you know, because he's only been working there for about a month now, straight out of college. And like I said, he's the second guy in charge in the building, you know. Well, he says it's other people on his same level. He's a industrial engineer. He says there's other people on his level, but there's only one person higher than him. And I was like, wow, that's it makes you proud. It makes you proud when you put all this work in your kids, and they actually turn out to be something special. He's always been a community person. He's more so than me because, like I said, I've been busy running and ripping. That's one thing I'm guilty of. I'm not in the community as much as I should be. But I give when I can. I mean, when I can give, I get. When I can give, I can. I mostly give to my family, my grandmother, my mom. But giving is always the thing that you want to be associated to. You don't want to be the taker. I mean, you got to receive, because you can't give without receiving. I mean, you can, but the whole cycle of currency, life, energy, money. You got to be able to receive in order to give. But I haven't been able to give the way I want to give to, say, things like youth organizations, inner city youths. That's one thing I kind of kick myself for not being able to help because I grew up poor. I grew up like I had a buddy, my best friend. He's still my best friend. We joined the army together. We went to Germany together. We pretty much two peas in a pot. You saw one, you saw the other. We both grew up poor, and one thing I always say, I lost my train of thought that fast. I know what I was saying. We used to say all the time, me and my friend Edwards, his name is Nathan Edwards. We used to say when we was in the army together, we said we didn't grow up poor. We was too we're too poor to afford the other O and R, so we grew up po, just P-O. We couldn't afford the O and the R, the other O and the R. And it's true. It's true. I mean, but when you're in that situation and you're growing up, you don't realize how poor you are until you get out of that situation. And then you look back and be like, damn, we didn't have hot water. No phone. Here I am, a teenager in school. I can't give a girl my phone number because I don't have a phone. I had this girl ask me, what's your phone number? Why don't you call me sometime? I said, as soon as I, next period, I'll give it to you. There was so many next periods, I never gave her a phone number because we didn't have a phone. But I took her phone number and I would call her. Back in the day, there wasn't no such thing as call ID, so she didn't know where I was calling from. So, yeah, we grew up poor. And ever since I was a little boy, I would write. That's how I would get away. That's how I would escape my circumstances. I would our little trailer. I had a window, my bedroom window. Outside that window, I would look through it, and there was a big oak tree next to our house. And I would just look at that oak tree and just daydream about my future. But when I wasn't daydreaming, I was actually writing. I wrote my first book when I was 15 years old. I already told you I read my first book when I was 15. Now I don't mean I started, I couldn't read before then. I could read, I never read an entire book. But I wrote my first book when I was 15, and it was about, if I had to guess, it was about maybe 100 pages long, maybe 80 to 100 pages long, and I remember typing that book out. It was called A Little Boy Black, and it was just about my experiences going to New York the first time as a 13-year-old. I think I was about 13 years old in 2000. I keep saying in 1989, 1990-ish. Was my first trip to New York, Harlem, New York, and that was. I grew up in the country. My town. Seriously speaking, we had, when growing up, we had two small stores, corner stores, 2 gas stations, you know, no stoplights. A very small town, maybe 500 people in the actual town. And I always had these big dreams, and my imagination was like always moving. My mind was like water, like a rushing river. It was always moving, still is. And so what I would do in order to get out of that small town, God bless my town, my little town, Dorchester, South Carolina. I love it, love the people there. But I knew that I needed to get out of there in order to grow. And so what I would do is I would write short stories. I would write books, poetry, you name it. I would write it. I would write everything. I used to draw. And my daughter, she's actually an artist now. She draws. She's very good. She gets it from her mom and me. So that's what I would do. And to bring all that to bring it all back to Kwame Brown and what he's trying to do with the kids, it's always been my dream to establish some type of writing, maybe a writing institution or a creative writing school for young, poor kids. I'm not only saying black kids because, my wife is actually Native American and Hispanic. So, Hispanics, they have it just as rough as us, and Native Americans, these reservations. We have a reservation in my town, Ridgeville, and the Native Americans, the Indians, whatever you want to call them, they have it just as rough, if not worse, than us. So when I speak for the poor kids, I'm speaking for everybody. And it's always been my dream to establish some type of writing school institution, because I know there are other kids out there who don't have that outlet. And if they could see somebody just like them and hear my story or hear Kwame Brown's story, that's motivation, that's hope, because that's what I used to get out of my situation. Whenever I saw somebody that I knew came from the situation I came from, but they were able to get out, that motivated me to get out. That motivated me to go in the Army, and just pursue a better life for myself and my family. So that's my motivation. And yeah, to get back to that one person that commented, about the book, Kwame Brown book, I would absolutely do it if he reached out to me, or if I could somehow reach out to him. If he would see this video, if he could see this video and consider me to write his story, I would absolutely accept that challenge. I would definitely accept that challenge. Yeah, that's it in a nutshell, man. So I don't have anything else on the top of my head, but I'm absolutely enjoying. This is kind of like therapy to me. Being able to speak, talk to a crowd of people. I just feel like some of you all, I've watched your comments, and I'm starting to recognize some of the people commenting. Miss Kathy especially. I think I got your last name. Is starts with a B. Bor. I don't want to mess it up, but it starts with a B-O-R. I can't. My memory is not as good as it used to be. But she always has something good to say, and I appreciate that. Yes, I do. To everybody who's leaving the good vibes, sending out good vibes, I send those vibes back to you. Truly, I send them back to you, and I wish nothing but blessings. You guys keep on, keep doing what you're doing. Just be positive. Put those positive vibes out there in the world, and those vibes will come back to you, sevenfold, tenfold. It's refreshing to see that there's still great people in this world, good people in this world. And I'm just a regular old guy from South Carolina. But hey, if I can send you some uplifting words of encouragement, that's I'll be here until I can't do it anymore. Absolutely. And again, it wouldn't be right if I didn't remind you all. And if you think that, I have something good to say, then my stories have even more goodness to say, and in a creative way. So if you are a reader, if you know you need to start reading, or if you just want to buy a book for your girlfriend, for your boyfriend, for your mom, for your kids. Now, I wouldn't suggest all of my books to young kids. Save Miss Caroline is definitely a middle grade book for 12 on up, but it's targeted towards kids who grew up like I did. So you're gonna have some drug usage. You're gonna have some violence, some blood, some gore. Now it's a kid's book, so there's no sex in it. Not sex in that context. Not adult type sex. But there's some things in there that some kids would get and other kids wouldn't get. Like my youngest son, he has not grown up. He has not had a rough life at all. So, and he read the book and he liked the book, but I could tell that he couldn't understand some of the things that were in the story. Now, for young adults, I'd say 18 or older, Zsa, there's sex, there's drug usage, there's blood and gore, a little fantasy in there, all of that. And Mech is also a young adult, fantasy, sci-fi. There's plenty of sex in Mech. I got out some sexual frustrations in that book. Not to say I'm sexually frustrated now, but with Mech, I really kind of went across the line as far as experimenting with sex and using that really as a tool to how do I say it? Use it as a tool to shine light on different things, different aspects. You would have to really read the book to understand what I'm saying about Mech, because Mech is it was a really difficult story to write because I wrote it from 5 different perspectives. So, well, even more than that. It's 5 main perspectives, 5 main characters, and then you have maybe 3 or 4 sub characters. But one of the characters is the spaceship itself, because there's a 300 million year old spaceship that's flying about, and it's a dragonfly, the spaceship. And there's frustrations with the spaceship of not being human. It yearns to be human, and at one point in the story, it does have an opportunity to experience what being human feels like, and not only being human, but also being human and having sex with another female human. So that's what I mean when I say it's it's hard to explain. And I'm not the best at pitching my own books, believe it or not. I went to the 2015 Writers Digest conference in New York City. As a matter of fact, the thumbnail of my picture on my YouTube page is a picture that was taken by a professional photographer at that conference. And they have a section there where you can pitch your book or books. And I pitched 2 books at the time. I pitched Jaja and I pitched Save Miss Caroline. And I'm so bad at pitching my own book, it's not even funny. I know what the book is about. I know that the story's good. I've had nothing but good feedback from people. I did have a few people to tell, that wasn't too pleased with how some of the stories ended. Well, one of the stories in particular, Jaja, I think it was, girl told me, the book was great, but the ending, she expected something else. So I was like, okay, whatever, it ended the way it ended. I don't, I can't, I write, I let the story write itself. So it ended the way it wanted to end. But, so, I'm not the best at pitching my own books, closing this thing up right now because it's about almost 26 minutes. If you are looking for a different style of writing from a person who's genuinely from a place where writers seldom make it out of or seldom emerge from, if you're looking for a gritty story, a story that's going to give it to you like it is, a story about real life, a story about a fantasy world, go to my website, writethisway.com, WRITEDISWAY, and pick up your book. If you buy it from my website, okay, you're getting kind of close. Goodness gracious. People drive kind of crazy these days. If you go to my website, if you order the book from my website, I'll sign it, send it to you. If you go on Amazon.com, look up Anthony L. Kelly, you'll see all of my books on there. Now, if you do go on Amazon, Save Miss Caroline, it's a huge story behind that book. It's hard to find the correct book. The ones you'll see on there, all of them are like ridiculously priced, and that's because the first publisher I went through, Take Publishing, I'll put the name out. Whoa, my goodness, dude, you are getting too close to me. Oh my God, stay in your lane. Goodness gracious, man. Let me pass this guy up, man. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, so the first publisher I went to ended up going bankrupt, being sued by multiple people. There was a class action lawsuit that I'm involved in with right now. It's been going on for about 3-4 years. The whole thing was shady. Long story short, I had to republish that book, Save Miss Caroline. And now the books that you find online, if you go to search Save Miss Caroline, the books are ridiculously priced because people bought the books and they're reselling them for like $800. I seen books on there for like $800, $300, $400, but $800 is just anything over $19.95 is ridiculous. So those books are not my books. And there's a link. I may post that link in the description of if you want to buy the book from Amazon of the correct website, or it's the correct link. But yeah, if you would like to buy a book, you would not be disappointed if you're a reader. If you're not a reader, yeah, you may be disappointed because you don't read. But if you are a reader, if you are an avid reader, you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed. So I got people beeping me now. So let me get. It's almost 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and get off. You guys have fun, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a blessed day.